Hello, welcome back to BS Live. Today I want to try something. Basically, I'm recording using my iPad Pro, and also I'm recording on my MacBook Pro, and I will be using the Apple Pencil and this Sidecar feature of macOS Catalina. So yeah, I'm using Blender 2.82. It's definitely more stable, and so you can, when you first open Blender, of course you are presented with this cube, camera, and the light. You can actually delete all of them for what we are doing. I'm thinking of making a new series where I'm just gonna be doing doing a talk, and maybe doing like sketching or sculpting. So maybe it's like a Blender sushi sketchbook. So with Blender, you have many ways to actually do like a drawing. The usual way, the one that you might know from learning something like Photoshop, is probably painting using image editor. Okay, so just now I just switched to image editor, and I need to create a new image. That's the pixel size, so just leave it as it is for now. So now, if you are thinking to do some drawing, oh, all right. So you can't see any drawing because you need to switch to paint mode. Okay. So this is paint mode, and you see you can start to paint. With Apple Pencil and Blender, noticeably, you can see that we often get that kind of brush stroke, and then at the end there's like that dots. So that's probably something that can be adjusted in preference. For now, I don't need to worry about all those. I'm just gonna show you the kind of like a sketching ideas and how you can change the color for your tool, things like that. So I believe we can also turn on this. Okay, so that's the tool that you have. You have things to blur it. You can smudge. Smudge is working really well if you are using Apple Pencil or Wacom. You have fill, stamp. What is this? Masking. So anyway, for now we're just gonna use the brush. If you notice, the brush that we are using so far is pretty much soft. It's a soft brush, right? Let me try just paint this. So I can use the pressure of my Apple Pencil. That's actually being controlled by. Normally, I'm switching to my mouse. Normally, I like to have the tool up here as well. Show tool settings. And when you're working or sketching in Blender, this outliner and the properties is not so useful. You can just really hide them. Now we have more space. So this is, I'm using my mouse, right? And this is me going back using the Apple Pencil. Sometimes the control of the pressure is not 100%, but so I like to just turn it off up here. The radius also, you can have it on or off. Anyway, this is me 100% just brushing it on the canvas. The radius, you see everything is soft at the moment. I can change the radius to really small. Still, my brush is soft. So if you want to really change the hardness of your brush, you can use the fall off. By default, this is a soft brush. You can change it. If you make it constant, now this become like a hard brush. Okay, so that's one thing to know if you are actually painting using image editor. So this is actually really cool, and already it's like a Photoshop. Even though you don't have layering, it's you might think, okay, this is quite limiting, but not really. You can do a lot here. You can use texture as well, kind of like doing stamping. So that's one. That's second one you can do is actually using 2D animations using grease pencil. Okay, just now Blender crashes. That's okay. Let's just reopen Blender. The second way is to use grease pencil. And with grease pencil, you can actually create artwork like that, just like the one on the splash screen. File, new, 2D animations. So by default, if you're using Apple Pencil, you can see the line stroke is very thin, very light. Normally, I like to just turn off the strength. So I don't want the pressure sensitivity to control my brush. It's totally up to you, but this is the second way you can work. You can kind of sketch in Blender. You might notice, okay, with Apple Pencil here, the stroke is sometimes a little bit choppy still. So it's not 100%, it's not what I was expecting. It could be smoother, maybe depending on your system, but it's pretty good. It can be faster. I'm using macOS Catalina beta, so this is still another beta. All right. With Grease Pencil, you have more options because Grease Pencil in Blender is actually really quite powerful. Believe it or not. You can animate in 2D, and of course you can animate in 3D. And each time you make strokes on a different timeline or on different frame, it's actually become an animations. Okay, so that's the basics. And then one more. So grease pencil, etc. You can also doing a sketch, which is actually more like a sculpting. Select this guy, multi-resolutions, subdivide a couple of times. Now we can kind of hide this, and we can go to sculpt mode. Oops, not. Oh, vertex paint also kind of painting. Pick the color. Yeah, that's actually painting as well, but let's do a little bit of sculpting for now. So this is also another way you can sketch using Blender. And sculpting, doing a sculpt in 3D can be very relaxing, very meditative, like I said. So this is another way you can use your iPad Pro and Apple Pencil and Blender just to do sketching, not to make like a kind of like a beautiful sculpture, but really you are sketching or like visualizing what you are thinking, or you just want to have fun and make 3D artwork. Okay, so that's really just the idea. A couple of ways you can use your iPad Pro, Apple Pencils, and Blender to do some painting or sketching, whatever you call it, this kind of activity. It's very meditative. All right. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully this is useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.